we can make it epic. And obviously, since I'm building it, I'm not the one doing it. But when you guys see the video, it's well, you guys know, but it's a pretty cool twist.
When it comes to retention, obviously there's things you can do in the first 30 seconds, the first minute. Yep. Are there checklist items you have to get people to 10 minutes, to 15, to 20?
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard with a single storyline if you're doing like a double-digit minute video to just have that one thing grip their entire attention throughout the whole video and pay off at the end. So typically, if you're doing a longer video, you should introduce like a side story and like you should have some plan halfway through, like to re-engage them so they don't just get bored. You know what I mean? Like if I just said, like if I hand you a camera and I had a camera, it's like, okay, if he tags me, he gets 100 grand, and then I just run, and that's it. It's just me running through the woods and him just running through the woods after me. You can't make a 15-minute video out of it. You know what I mean? But if I do that, and then like 3 minutes in, I pull a lever and a bear comes out and starts chasing him, and he has to get away from the bear. I don't know. Obviously, we wouldn't do this, but kill the bear. And then he starts chasing me. And then 6 minutes in, I jump across the lake, and as he goes to jump through, I press a button that shoots him to the moon. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like. Now all of a sudden it's interesting and you're watching, right? And that's it, right? One is just a single story and it's boring. The other has side stories that like re-engage people.
So that like introducing other narratives.
Well, actually, you know how we were talking about Dylan earlier?
Yeah.
So he just said, I'm getting close to 70%. I'm almost a decent YouTuber. And he sent me a graph where his new video had 65% retention.
Oh, wow.
Because I told him if he doesn't get 70% retention on a video, then he didn't do something right.
Wow, I don't even want to pull up our retention.
Yeah.
70%, that's what you need. If it's below that, figure out how to get higher.
We're probably at like 40% right now. So we got some work to do.
We were talking earlier, we were saying like, a lot of times in our videos we'll be like, this video is about this, 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 and that. And we were like, well, what if we actually held one back and at that 4 or 5 or 6 minute part, we're like, and the one thing we didn't tell you was this. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it like takes another direction.
But I also think the thing you said that I think is important is that it's not always just a bear that you have to bring in as a dual narrative, right? It also could be, like you mentioned, the visuals, right? In a lot of our videos, we have like really fast moving visuals, custom animations. Yes. That's what makes it interesting.
Exactly.
Like if you're not a creator who's doing maybe bigger stunts or anything like that, and you are explaining things, your visuals can be
as simple as an ant crawling on your skin and biting you. I don't know. Like it doesn't have to be big.
Or in the case that we were talking about, some of these shorts creators are gaining massive viewership by making Subway sandwiches or making ice cream and telling stories.
Shout out to Milad.
Shout out to Milad and Dylan LeMay. They're like, I mean, 82 million views making ice cream and telling a story. Yeah. So it's like, there you go. That's visual. It's interesting. And there's another narrative where he's telling a different story about.
I mean, you could probably paint a bowling ball and people would find it entertaining. Like, there's an audience for everything. You got a good personality, you're passionate, and like, you know, you present it in a way where it's entertaining. Like, people will watch it. I'll watch anything at this point. We're all messed up in the head.
One great example of adding other narratives is your Reacts channel. I think it's really interesting because you guys I watched your parkour reaction. Yeah. And you and Chris are reacting, but at the same time, Nolan is losing money when Chris says a word that he can't say. And so it's like, already I just said something that's multiple narratives that are happening at once that are, there's the visuals of the parkour, which are already really interesting. There's your reaction. Then there's Nolan losing money.
Exactly. And then the payoff at the end where you're like, well, how much does Nolan make? Exactly. Right. My favorite one is on the Reacts channel. We do this thing where it's the video, start of the video, it's Chris and his grandma. And I go, every time Chris laughs, he loses $500. Right. And then we kick his grandma out of the room and I show him a bunch of TikToks. And then, you know, you watch to see how much his grandma makes.
Is Reacts your most profitable channel?
Most profitable? Well, it depends how you quantify that. In percentage, like expenses to revenue or by total revenue?
Expenses to revenue.
Expenses, then Reacts, because it doesn't cost much. And so anything we make off Reacts, I put in the main channel, which is how we kind of got here, because I got to the point where the main channel would make hypothetically a few $1 million, and I'd spend a few $1 million a month. And I was like, well, how can I get more money to burn? And so then we started gaming. And then gaming started making money, and I'd just take that money and the next month throw it on the main channel. And I was like, oh, this is working well. And then we started Reacts, so now we just take a few $100 grand a month from that and we just throw it on the main channel. And I'm just like, these things exist just to pump money into the main channel.
So pretty soon, when this place is done, everyone will be in here and everything will be in here.
Not everything.
Not everything. Okay.
Even this place, like, because we're working on mini videos on the main channel at the same time, we'll be able to cap out at like 2 or 3. And so we'll still have to use our other studios. Once, like I told you before, we're going to build an expansion of this out back and have basically 2 of these. Then we'll potentially be able to do them. Because like if we did World's Hardest Escape Room, I mean, it's probably going to take up all this space behind us. And then, if we did like a would you rather style video, would you rather have a Lamborghini or a house?
Yeah.
And then we built sets that'd probably take up that side. And then if the third video after that's like eating the world's largest slice of pizza, well, this place is full. But at least like even just doing that though is revolutionary for us.
Right. But who will be here? It will be now like creative, accounting, HR.
Everything. Yeah, exactly. All the people that help me pull off these videos. Yeah, it'll be beautiful.
What's the, I guess, workplace culture that you hope to create when everyone's in the same place?
Oh, that's a hard one. I don't even know. I just want to make the best videos possible. A culture that helps get that. And hopefully one day, as we build up other companies and things go well, like make tons of money, and everyone who helps me get there, I just want to make them rich as hell, to be honest.
Yeah. Is there going to be a basketball court here?
Yeah. Inside, no. Out back, probably.
I mean, there is a hoop.
Like half the boys that are here play basketball. It's funny.
How did you meet Tariq? Because he grew up here, right?
Oh, that's a funny story. Tariq, come on in. Come here. So, here you go.
Tariq,
so this is my cameraman, Tariq. So
Tariq, welcome to the show.
Basically, this is before I had any employees. I was like, I need people to help me with the like just do these videos. I just need help, and I don't know why my like 19-year-old peanut brain, I was like, or maybe I did have like 2 or 3 employees, but I was like, comedians are funny. Like comedians would probably be like they'd probably be fun to work with. They'd probably be very helpful. Maybe he'll make me funnier. He'll rub off on me. And so I went to a comedy show. And Tariq was doing comedy, and like a bunch of other people were doing comedy there. And all the ones that made me laugh, I just was like writing down a notepad. And then after the comedy show, I just walked backstage, and they were just like, "What the?" And I just walked up to people, and I was like, "Yo, you're funny. You want a job?" And
we're like a YouTuber.
Yeah, but,
what does this guy know about comedy?
We're in North Carolina, and they're like, "Okay." And I was like, "No, look, I'm a YouTuber." And then I just somehow managed to drag him to my house.
How many subscribers did you have at that time?
Like 1 million?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Wow.
1.1 million. Yeah. And so they came over, I filmed a few videos with him and some of the other guys. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just got a job at the hospital. In 1 month,
Classic
I went to
Tariq.
college for this. I hospital job in a month." And I'm like, "Tariq, be my cameraman. I swear to God, I will this channel will blow up. We'll hit 10 million subscribers. I'll make you rich." And he's like,
the truth.
Yeah, and he's like, and he's like, hospital. And so then Tariq left for a year. For him specifically, this is his story. And then a year later, and this now I have quite a few employees. We're like 6-7 million subscribers. Tariq, maybe not that high, maybe like 3 or 4. And Tariq's like, "Yo, I fucking hate working at the hospital." And he's like, "I'm miserable." And I'm like, "Well, you're in luck. I still want you. Get your butt over here." And then he started he'd go to the hospital and then work at night. And I was like, "Yo, I want all your time. Quit." And his family wasn't the keenest on that, but I was like, "You'll be fine."
And here you are.
Yeah, and he was
here you are.
He was like editing in my attic and stuff like that.
The
back in
old
the day.
attic days.
Yeah.
That was the yellow floor studio.
Yeah, at the attic, the yellow floor, because the studio was for filming, and then there's just an attic. And I was like, "All right, we got an editor, babe." And we just installed AC. And
So how many years have you been here, Tariq?
Coming up on 3. So
3 years.
2.5 years now.
Yeah, could have been 3.5. But,
What's your perspective of the difference between when you first started to being in a space like this?
Oh man, just experience and seeing him grow too. I joined when Jimmy I think was 18 or 17 at the time, so that was cool to just see.
Well,
him.
when I first reached out, I was 19.
Yeah,
because 3 years ago I was 20, so that's when I first started. Yeah.
And just seeing him grow and seeing his motivation stay, that motivated at least me personally to push and.
So many people
beyond.
when I brought him on back then, they're like, it's like, "We're gonna be the biggest YouTube channel ever." I was like, "I don't care. I'll fucking die trying. I'm gonna obsess and grind." And they're always like, eventually you'll get burnt out. Eventually he's gonna slow down. He can't just grow like this forever. And I was like, no. And so there were a lot of good people back in the day, but it's hard to you bet your entire life and everything on a 19-year-old that honestly is socially
and
awkward.
YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube and a yellow floor stupid warehouse, just making shit up every day. Yeah. But I mean, the only thing that's consistent is I woke up every day and I grinded and I obsessed. from 2 million to 10, or